This tutorial, we're going to make Tony's Bike Shop sign. You can refer to the PDF for the final version of this, and we'll look at it on occasion to compare as we develop our tutorial. I'm going to make a new file, and I'm going to make it 6 inches wide, 5 inches high, and 200 dpi. I'm going to make the background a default gray because the sign is pretty white for the most part until we develop the edges and start to put some of the red content in. So I'll go to my swatch window, I'll pick a middle value gray, and I'll fill the background layer with that. In my layer window, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to hit U on the keyboard, and it's going to take me to the Bezier tools that appear in Photoshop. There are a number of them. I'm going to make sure that the upper left-hand corner in the option window I've chosen path. You'll see there are 3 choices: shape, pixels, path. I'm choosing path. I'm going to click in the upper left-hand corner now, and I'm going to make sure that all the corners are rounded off at 60 pixels. And then I'm going to change the width of the shape to 4 inches wide and 3 inches high. And it's going to give me the basic outline for what will be our sign. I'm going to stay on the path tool, and if I right click inside, I get the option to make a selection. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to D on the keyboard because I want the sign to start out as white. I'm going to hit Option Delete, Command D to deselect. I'm now going to make a selection of the shape I just made. I'll hold down the Command key and I'll click on the thumbnail in the layer window for that layer. I'm going to go to Select, Modify, Contract. I'm going to set the contraction for 15. I'll click OK. I'm going to go to Select, Inverse. Now I'm going to hit Command J or Command C, Command V to paste it. And what we essentially just did was we copied a bit of the outside perimeter. That's going to serve as the red border in our final sign. So once I have that piece created, I will lock the transparency. I'm going to go to the swatch menu, and I'm going to click on the default red in the upper right hand corner of the swatch window, and I'll hit Option Delete to make that red. Now I'm going to start to name some of these. That'll be the sign border, and this will just be sign background. And on the sign border layer, that thin red one, I'm going to put the bevel and emboss. Now there's 2 ways to get the layer styles up. We can go down to the bottom of the layer window and go to FX, or you can double click anywhere on the gray of the area with the exception of where the text is, and when you do so, the same layer style window will come up. I'm going to choose bevel and emboss. I'm going to set the depth to 150, and I'm going to change the size to 50. And now I'm going to put the outer glow on. I've got the style as inner bevel, so if that isn't there by default, change that to inner bevel before you make these other choices. I'm going to soften, maybe 15. Now I'm going to click on outer glow, and I'm going to choose black, and I'm going to make sure the blend mode is normal. I'm going to ramp the spread back to 0, and I'm going to move the size to approximately 15, and I'm going to click OK. And now we're going to put the bicycle in the center of the sign. I've brought in the bicycle, the red silhouette that accompanies this tutorial folder, both the PDF and the piece of art we're looking at now. We're going to copy and paste this into the sign file. I'll hit Command A, Command C, Command W to put it away, Command V to paste. we're going to reduce the scale of this spike to 60%. I'll hit Command T, and at the top of the option window, between the W and the H for height, I will click on the link. Now if I change either the width or the height to that 60%, it's going to maintain the aspect ratio. I'll hit Command S to save. I'm going to copy the layer style from our red border to the bicycle. So I'll right click on the border, copy layer style. I'll click on the bicycle, right click, choose paste layer style. Now the outer glow is a bit too strong, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to center it by eye, and next we'll introduce our text.